So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
From the 24, Heineke. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch, maybe you move some motion, maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Heineke's throw into the hands of McLaurin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions, even when you're taking some hits. Sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up and make those throws, and he did that.
That's Samuel, caught left side. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. A big connection on that one. 39 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed that went right into the game plan. Attack them early, see if they're going to play any better, and if not, you keep...
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And Washington takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shouldering the ball carrier, and down he goes.
Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on third down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick six for a Washington touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they gave up the pick six, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. A quick throw out wide to Mooney. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, keel up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year?
Here's 2nd and 10. Man open left side is Brown. So they say we'll let that completed pass stand, and we'll bring up 3rd down instead as they decline it.
So they're comfortable with the yardage. The big thing to them is what you pointed out, getting it to 3rd down and making a play there.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Heineke to throw it. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And the Bears are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. Tua on fourth down. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Bears tried it on fourth down, unable to convert. And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Eddie Goldman never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
But it looks like they caught him off guard on second and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on third down.
Taking a shot for Samuel. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. So on fourth down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. On first down, Cottrell. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And this one taken in by Cephas. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. That's complete to Mooney. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. On play action, Heineke. This will be caught by Brown. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now Heineke. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Off the play fake, Heineke. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Heineke. Flushed out right. 20. 10. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Here's Gibson on the read option. And this time he is in. Antonio Gibson in the final seconds of the first half. And Washington going to add on to their lead. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. 4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They try again with Cohen, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That second down play nets a -4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Tua. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
2nd and 2. Here's Gibson on the read option. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
They'll run with Gibson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. On the return is Cohen. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. And a quick throw here, that's complete. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's Tua. There's Mooney with another catch. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good gain on first has them set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Gibson again. And he's able to get up here to the 26.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Push him back. Push him back. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming.
Heineke on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Walker. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
On 2nd down, it's Gibson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, right back to Gibson. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
73 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A handoff for Gibson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. Here's Gibson on the read option. It's a 1st down and more for Gibson. And finally taken down at the 15. It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. Gibson here running out of the gun. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Gibson on the read option. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Gibson, boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Now a give, right side. Cottrell, and he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Again, it's Cohen. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. So it's Washington getting the victory here. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Washington, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Chicago, it's unfortunately more of the same as they'll fall to 3-10 on the year. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys.